Hi, my name's Haley and I'm from the Cowichan Estuary Nature Center. And I'm Eddie. Oh, hi Eddie. I didn't know you were coming down to see us today. Well, of course, I had some questions about watersheds. What is a watershed? That is an excellent question, Eddie, but what are you? Oh, well, I'm an eelgrass and I live down here in the estuary. But Haley, what is a watershed? That's a great question, Eddie. You can think of a watershed like a big upside down umbrella. All of the water that falls on it in one area is going to drain to one central point right down at the bottom. Does that make sense? Yeah, like an upside down umbrella. It looks like you could use one right now. Yeah, that's true, Eddie. But do you want to go on a walk through the watershed with me? Well, does that mean using your imagination? Yeah, it does. Are you ready to use your imagination? I can do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start up at the top of the watershed in the mountains. So to get the feeling of a mountain, what you need to do is stand really, really, really tall, almost like a string is going through your body and pulling you up to the sky. And that helps you stand tall and strong, just like a mountain. Okay, tall and strong like a mountain. So this is where all the precipitation falls in the Cowichan watershed, up high in the mountains, and it's going to drain down. Do you know where it's going to drain down to? Oh, the lake? You're right. Do you know the name of the lake? Ooh, it's the Cowichan Lake. You're right. So we're going to go down Lake Cowichan, all the way down from the mountains, following the water down to the bottom. And what are we going to do once we get there? Oh, I want to go for a swim. That's right. Okay, let's go for a swim. So we're going to go swimming across Lake Cowichan. And we're going to swim for how long? 31 kilometers. That's a really, really long lake. And it's super deep too. As we're swimming, we look down to the bottom of the lake and it goes down 500 feet. Why do you think it might go down 500 feet? Is it because thousands of years ago, Vancouver Island was covered by a massive glacier that carved chasms into the land and was later filled by water? Why, yes. Yes, it is, Eddie. So as we swim across the lake, we get to the end and we see that the lake turns into a river. It all flows down past a weir, heading down to the estuary. So we're going to start walking along that river and following in our imaginations all the way down to the estuary. And as we're walking down Cowichan River, we look up and we see the most beautiful tree we've ever seen. But in everyone's imagination, that tree is going to look different, because that's the power of imaginations. And as we look up, we think about how trees reach up to the sky and they grab that sun's energy and pull it down into their bodies, and they use it to grow way out with lots of leaves and branches. But trees do so much more than that. They reach down to the ground and they pull nutrients and water out of aquifers and out of the ground up into their trunks, and they use it to grow way out with leaves and branches. So we keep walking along the Cowichan River, and as we're walking, we see something else in the trees. Do you see that, Eddie? It's okay, you don't have to be scared, because it's just a barred owl. And you know how to make the sound of a barred owl. Say this, it goes, "Who cooks for you?" But what you need to do after that is take out your imaginary peanut butter sandwich. Okay, I have one of those with me. Okay, you're gonna take it, have a big bite of your peanut butter sandwich, and then you're gonna say, "Who cook for you? Who cook for you?" And that's the sound of a barred owl. Well, that sounds pretty crazy. I think it sounds just like a barred owl. So we're gonna keep walking along the river. And as we're walking along the river, we look up and we see two eagles flying all the way down to the estuary. Do you know why two eagles might be flying down to the estuary? Well, I'm not really sure. I live there, but I just hang out with little baby salmon. That's exactly it. They're probably heading up to see the salmon that swim up the river to go spawn every year. So as we follow the eagles down to the estuary, we make it all the way down to where you live. Oh, I know this part. Yeah, I'm an eelgrass, and I live down in the estuary, which is where the rivers meet the ocean. That's right. If you took your two hands and overlapped them and wiggled your fingers together, that would be kind of like where the land meets the sea. So the estuary is where rivers and the land meet the ocean. And that's where I live. That's right. And what exactly are you, Eddie? Well, I'm a land plant. I'm a flowering land plant, but I live here in the estuary. And I sequester carbon through photosynthesis, kind of just like trees. That's great. And here in the Cowichan Estuary and nearby estuaries, we're doing a lot of restoration work to try to bring eelgrass meadows back. So I'm actually a transplant eelgrass. That's pretty cool, Eddie. There's some pretty cool conservation work going on here in the Cowichan Valley.